So this is the review for The Invisible Man. Obviously you can't see me, but you know, I wanted to do this review in a kind of like Invisible Man theme. So this is kind of extreme, but hey. I'm the Invisible Man.
Adrian. He was a sociopath. He said that I could never leave him. He controlled how I looked and what I wore. Then it was controlling when I left the house. And eventually, what I thought. I'm sorry, I can't take you with me. I'm not gonna leave you with that thing on. Are you okay?
So this film is about, you know what, right? This isn't fair on you just watching the blank screen. Hang on a minute, let me get myself back. Hang on, am I coming back? Come on, yep, coming back, cool. There you go, that's better. So this film is about a character called Cecilia, right? And she's like in this relationship, she's trying to get out. You see this from the trailer, she's trying to get out of this relationship and she escapes, she runs away. She finds that her partner who she was trying to escape from died, and then she's been left all his money. And soon after that, things start happening where she feels like that she's being haunted like by the invisible version of him, which kind of sums up the title, The Invisible Man. So this Invisible Man idea, this is based on the H.G. Wells novel from probably about a century ago. And in 1933, the first Invisible Man film was made. I haven't seen that original Invisible Man film from 1933, but I think my generation, or our generation's version of The Invisible Man was Hollow Man from the year 2000. But I think the concept for The Invisible Man's kind of been with us our whole life. You know, even when we were kids, we're going, oh, I wish I could be invisible. You always make those wishes with your friends going, oh, I wish I could fly, or I wish I could be invisible, and invisible was always one of them. So I think the notion of being invisible has always been with us since childhood. So in this 2020 version, right, of The Invisible Man, they've taken this film in the direction of domestic violence, which is the underlying theme for this film. And what I felt after seeing the trailer is like, it felt more like someone who's being haunted by a ghost rather than a human, which it could actually be since the Invisible Man is deceased. So through that first half of the film, you could quite easily believe that you're watching a film about someone being haunted by a poltergeist. And it continues to feel like that up until the second half of the film. And it's the second half of the film where that human factor is a lot stronger. There's also a little twist towards the end as well, which I predicted about a quarter or a third into the film, which I'm pretty proud of myself for. But what I wasn't keen on was the length of this film. It's like 2 hours long. And I guess the usual length for like sort of a horror film is about an hour and a half, an hour and 40 minutes, but this is 2 hours. And at 2 hours, it really felt drawn out. Where I was sitting in the cinema, there was a girl, a few seats along, and every time there was like a spot in the middle where it's sort of like, you know, like one of the slower parts, right? Whenever that happens, I would just see this phone light going on, like boom. It just really annoys me that people are this ignorant. They will literally be in a dark room and they touch their phone, it's gonna light up that whole space. I just can't believe that people do this. It's so annoying. Going off on a tangent completely here, right? I was actually in another film screening and there's this guy sitting 2 seats along, and he was just like, he was in one of those really rustly sort of coats, and he's just rustling all the way through. He went to the toilet about 3 times during the film, and it's just been really annoying. I don't know what it is about people paying money to go to cinema. They think they can go to cinema and just treat it like their lounge. I don't get it. And breathe. So yeah, the film feels a little bit drawn out at 2 hours. However, when there's scenes of suspense, that kind of makes up for those drawn out times. The other thing I'm a little curious about is like the casting of the film. I just was wondering why they cast Elizabeth Moss for this film. I think she's a very good actor. I've got no complaints about her acting, but I'm just curious as to why they cast her for this certain role. I'm just a bit puzzled, a little bit puzzled by that one. She's a good actor, honestly. I think she's really good. Nothing wrong with her acting. Just couldn't figure out why that part. That's what I couldn't figure out. So this is a Blumhouse produced film, and it's everything you would expect from one of their films. What I like about their films is they do really cool opening title sequences, and they did it with this film as well. I saw this film in IMAX, the big screen, the massive screen. I saw this film in IMAX but I was quite surprised even before going to see this film that they were going to show this film in IMAX. I thought it was a really odd choice, to be honest. But then watching the film, I found that it really works in IMAX because the screen's bigger, the sound's bigger. That IMAX screen, it like fills up most of your peripheral vision, which makes it so much more intimate. And that increased volume makes the suspenseful scenes much better, much more edgy, I suppose. So this was the first IMAX screen of the day. It wasn't the first one in the cinema. The cinema was quite busy today. I think a lot of people were going to see this film, but the cinema was really busy, and this film is going to generate a lot of dollar. It really is. There's something about this concept which really appeals to people. I think it's because we all have that one wish that we actually would like to try being invisible, even if it's just for one day. So if you are going to go and see this film yourself, most of what you see in the trailer is pretty much only the first half of the film, which leaves a lot of surprises for the second half of the film. The suspenseful scenes are really intense, and this does make for an entertaining 2-hour film. I just wish it'd been a little bit shorter to cater for those who can't go 20 minutes without using their phone. Oh, am I going? Am I back? Oh, no, oh, fuck it. Bollocks.
Surprise.